Welcome to US Coins Hub, where history meets hidden value. Today, we uncover a rare piece of American heritage, a coin that tells a story, holds mystery, and could be worth far more than its face value. So slow down, listen closely, and step into the timeless world of rare and valuable US coins. Let's dive into today's video. Top 1 today, we're diving into one of the most iconic modern American coins ever released, the 1999 Delaware State Quarter. At first glance, it may look like just another 25-cent piece, but this coin changed American coin collecting forever. And if you stay with me until the end, you might be surprised at how much one special version of this quarter has been valued at. In 1999, the United States Mint launched the incredibly popular 50-state quarters program. The very first coin released in that historic series was the Delaware Quarter. That means this coin wasn't just another design. It marked the beginning of a 10-year collecting phenomenon that captured the attention of millions across the country. Delaware earned its nickname, the First State, because it was the first to ratify the Constitution in 1787. To honor that proud history, the reverse of the coin features Caesar Rodney riding horseback. Rodney made a legendary overnight ride through a thunderstorm to cast the deciding vote for independence. The image on the coin captures motion, determination, and courage, and that storytelling detail is one reason collectors admire it so much. On the obverse, you'll find the familiar portrait of George Washington. But even here, something was different in 1999. The Mint updated Washington's portrait slightly compared to earlier quarters, marking a subtle but important design shift for modern U.S. coinage. Now let's talk numbers. The Delaware Quarter was struck in massive quantities. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 373 million coins, while the Denver Mint produced more than 401 million. There were also proof versions struck in San Francisco for collectors. With numbers like that, you might think this coin is extremely common, and in circulated condition, it usually is. Most Delaware quarters found in pocket change today are worth face value. Even bright, uncirculated examples might sell for just a few dollars. Proof coins can bring a bit more depending on condition. But here's where things get interesting. Condition is everything in coin collecting. A Delaware quarter graded in exceptionally high mint state condition, especially MS68 or higher, becomes dramatically scarcer. Modern coins are produced in large quantities, but very few survive in flawless condition without microscopic scratches, contact marks, or weak strikes. High-grade examples certified by professional grading services can command impressive premiums because collectors compete fiercely for the best of the best. Then we move into the world of mint errors, and this is where excitement really builds. Some Delaware quarters have been discovered with dramatic off-center strikes. Others show double die errors, where parts of the design appear slightly doubled due to misalignment during the minting process. There are examples with clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is missing because of a cutting error at the mint. Broad strikes, die cracks, and even wrong planchet errors, where the quarter design was struck on metal intended for a different coin, can transform an ordinary quarter into a highly sought-after collectible. Collectors especially love double die varieties. When you see noticeable doubling in the lettering or date under magnification, that small detail can mean a big difference in value. Error coins are fascinating because each one tells the story of a split-second mistake inside the mint, a mistake that slipped past quality control and into circulation. Another factor that adds to the Delaware Quarter's appeal is its historical importance as the first issue in the State Quarters series. Many collectors build complete 50-state sets, and they want the finest Delaware example possible to represent the beginning of the collection. That demand for top-quality coins helps drive prices upward for elite specimens. Now here's the part you've been waiting for. While most 1999 Delaware quarters are worth only 25 cents, and even high-grade examples usually sell for modest amounts, an extraordinary specimen with a rare error and near-perfect certified grade has been valued as high as $84,000. That's right. A single quarter potentially worth more than a luxury So before you ignore that old jar of coins sitting on your shelf, take a closer look. Check the date. Look for the mint mark. Examine the details carefully under good lighting. You never know when a tiny detail could make a massive difference. Top 2, we're exploring a quarter that carries Southern pride, musical heritage, and serious collector excitement. the 1999 Georgia State Quarter. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary 25-cent coin, but hidden within certain versions of this coin are details that can turn pocket change into something extraordinary. In 1999, the United States Mint launched the historic 50 State Quarters program, a series that quickly became one of the most successful coin programs in American history. Georgia was one of the very first states honored that year, making its quarter part of the foundation of a modern collecting revolution. The reverse design of the Georgia quarter is bold and instantly recognizable. It features the outline of the state with a large, beautifully detailed peach at the center, a tribute to Georgia's nickname as the Peach State. Flowing across the design is a banner reading "Wisdom, Justice, Moderation," the official state motto. Surrounding the central image are branches of live oak, symbolizing strength and endurance. The design captures state pride, heritage, and identity in a compact but powerful layout. On the obverse, you'll find the familiar portrait of George Washington. This updated portrait style, introduced in 1999, gave the State Quarters series a refreshed appearance compared to earlier Washington quarters. That subtle redesign marked the beginning of a new era in circulating U.S. coinage. Now let's talk about mintage numbers. The Georgia quarter was struck in large quantities. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions, and the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions more. Proof versions were also struck in San Francisco for collectors. Because of these high production numbers, most Georgia quarters you find in circulation today are worth only face value. But here's where the story changes. Condition and rarity transform everything. In coin collecting, quality is king. While millions were produced, only a tiny fraction survive in near-perfect mint state condition. Modern coins easily pick up small scratches, contact marks, or weak strike details during production and transportation. Coins graded at the very top of the scale, such as MS-67, MS-68, or higher, become dramatically scarcer. When collectors compete for the finest certified examples, prices can rise sharply. And then we enter the world of mint errors, the area that truly excites serious collectors. Some 1999 Georgia quarters have been discovered with off-center strikes, where the design is noticeably shifted away from the center. Others show double die characteristics, where parts of the lettering or design appear doubled due to a misalignment in the die creation process. These doubling errors are especially fascinating because they can sometimes be seen with magnification, revealing subtle shadows or extra outlines in the text or design elements. There are also examples of clipped planchets, where part of the coin's edge is missing due to a blanking mistake at the mint. Broad strikes, die cracks, and even wrong planchet errors, where the quarter design was struck on metal intended for another denomination, can create extremely rare and valuable variations. Error coins tell the story of a split-second mechanical mistake during production. That tiny error transforms a common coin into something unique. And uniqueness drives demand. Another important factor is that 1999 was the very first year of the State Quarters program. Early year coins often attract extra collector attention because they mark the beginning of something historic. For many collectors building complete 50-state sets, having the finest possible Georgia example is a priority. That competitive demand adds upward pressure on high-grade and rare error specimens. Most circulated Georgia quarters are worth 25 cents. Uncirculated examples might bring a few dollars. Proof coins may sell for a modest premium depending on condition. Error coins can range much higher depending on rarity and eye appeal. But in the rarest circumstances, when a Georgia quarter combines an exceptional mint error with a nearly flawless certified grade, values can climb to astonishing levels. One extraordinary example has been valued as high as $81,000. That's the power of rarity, condition, and collector demand coming together in one small piece of copper and nickel. Next time you see a 1999 Georgia quarter, don't dismiss it too quickly. Look closely at the details. Examine the edges. Check for doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual characteristics. Under the right conditions, that simple quarter could be far more than spare change. Top 3. We're heading to the American heartland to uncover the story behind one of the most talked about modern quarters ever released, the 2005 Kansas State Quarter. At first glance, it may seem like an ordinary 25-cent coin, But certain versions of this quarter have created huge excitement in the collecting world that in 2005, the United States Mint was deep into the legendary 50-state quarters program. Each state's design celebrated its unique identity, history, and natural beauty. Kansas chose a design that perfectly represents its nickname, the Sunflower State. That on the reverse side of the Kansas quarter, you'll see a beautifully detailed American bison standing proudly on open plains. Behind it is a sunflower, the official state flower. The design captures the spirit of the Midwest: wide open spaces, wildlife, and agricultural heritage. It's simple, powerful, and deeply symbolic. The obverse features the familiar portrait of George Washington, the same style used throughout the State Quarters series. While millions of these coins were struck for circulation in Philadelphia and Denver, not all Kansas quarters are created equal. And that's where the real story begins. Let's talk numbers. The Kansas quarter had a high mintage, meaning hundreds of millions were produced. In circulated condition, most are worth face value. Even bright, uncirculated examples might sell for just a few dollars. But coin collecting is never just about mintage. It's about condition, rarity, and sometimes mistakes. The Kansas quarter became famous for one of the most interesting modern mint errors ever discovered. Collectors call it the "In God We Rust" error. On some coins, a grease-filled die caused the letter T in the word trust to disappear. Instead of reading "In God We Trust," the coin appears to say "In God We Rust." This small but dramatic error instantly caught the attention of collectors across the country. It's the kind of mistake that makes people look twice at their pocket change. Depending on condition, these error coins can sell for significantly more than face value. But that's not the only variety to watch for. Some Kansas quarters show weak strikes in certain areas of the design. Others may have die cracks, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or double die characteristics where letters or numbers appear slightly doubled. These errors occur during the minting process, often lasting only a short time before being corrected, which means far fewer exist compared to regular issues. Collectors love error coins because they are unexpected. They tell the story of a brief mechanical flaw inside the mint, a moment where production didn't go perfectly. And when those imperfect coins escape into circulation, they become prized collectibles. Now let's talk about condition, because this is where value can skyrocket. Modern coins are mass-produced and transported in large bags, which often leads to contact marks and surface imperfections. Finding a Kansas quarter in nearly flawless mint state condition is much harder than many people realize. Coins graded at the very top levels, such as MS-67 or MS-68 by professional grading services, are extremely scarce. When you combine a rare mint error with an ultra-high grade certification, you create the perfect storm of rarity and demand. Serious collectors compete fiercely for top population coins, and auction prices can climb rapidly. Proof versions struck in San Francisco also add another layer of collectability. Deep cameo proof coins with sharp contrast between frosted designs and mirror-like backgrounds are highly desirable when preserved perfectly. So what is a 2005 Kansas quarter really worth? Most are worth only 25 cents. Uncirculated examples might bring a small premium. Error coins can range from modest amounts to hundreds or even thousands depending on rarity and condition. But in the rarest of rare cases, when a Kansas quarter displays a dramatic error and is preserved in near-perfect certified condition, its value can reach an astonishing $78,000. That's right. A single quarter from 2005, pulled from circulation or saved in pristine condition, could potentially be worth more than many people's yearly salary. So here's the lesson for every coin lover watching. Never ignore your change. Look closely at the lettering. Check the word trust carefully. Examine the surfaces under good lighting. Sometimes, the smallest detail can make the biggest difference. Top for we're exploring one of the rarest and most intriguing coins in modern American history, the 2009 Guam State Quarter. While it might look like a standard 25-cent piece at first glance, certain versions of this coin have captured the attention of collectors around the world. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why some examples of this tiny coin are valued at $76,000. The 2009 Guam Quarter was part of the United States Mint's America the Beautiful Quarters program, a series that followed the legendary 50-state quarters program. Unlike the earlier quarters that celebrated states, this program included territories and sites of national significance. Guam, a U.S. territory in the Western Pacific, was honored with its very own coin in 2009, highlighting its unique culture, natural beauty, and strategic importance. That on the reverse side, the Guam quarter features the stunning image of Two Lovers Point, a famous cliff overlooking the Philippine Sea. The design depicts the iconic limestone cliff with two figures at the top, paying homage to a local legend about eternal love. Behind them, palm trees sway and waves crash, creating a sense of movement and life. The design is more than just pretty artwork. It's a miniature piece of storytelling that captures Guam's history and culture. The obverse, of course, features the familiar portrait of George Washington. While many quarters share this design, the Guam quarter stands out because of its reverse theme and the limited number of coins that survive in pristine condition. Guam quarters were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, but unlike most states, circulation numbers were lower due to the smaller population and demand for Guam coins. Now let's get into what makes this coin so special: rarity and errors. While most Guam quarters are worth just face value or a few dollars in uncirculated condition, there are rare mint errors that make certain coins exceptionally valuable. Some coins have off-center strikes, where the design is noticeably shifted, creating a striking visual effect. Others feature die cracks, double dies, or even missing elements from the design due to mistakes during production. One of the most fascinating errors discovered on some Guam quarters is a missing palm frond or partial detail from Two Lovers Point. These errors are incredibly rare because the U.S. Mint has strict quality control, and very few flawed coins make it into circulation. That scarcity makes these error coins highly desirable to collectors. Condition is another key factor in determining value. Modern coins are often handled roughly, picked up in circulation, and exposed to environmental wear. Coins that remain in perfect mint state condition, free from scratches, marks, or weak strikes, are extremely rare. Grading services such as PCGS and NGC certify coins in top grades like MS67, MS68, or higher, which further boosts their market appeal. Collectors particularly love coins that combine both rarity and high grade. An error coin that is also nearly flawless is the holy grail for many enthusiasts. And because the Guam quarter was a territory coin, with lower overall mintage and circulation, finding one in this top-tier condition is extraordinarily difficult. Even proof versions, struck in San Francisco, can fetch a premium if preserved perfectly. Deep cameo proofs with mirror-like backgrounds and frosted designs are highly sought after. Combined with any mint error, these coins can generate a level of excitement rarely seen in modern circulating coinage. So what is the value of a 2009 Guam quarter? Most coins are worth just a few cents to a couple of dollars. Uncirculated coins might sell for slightly more. Error coins can fetch hundreds or even thousands depending on the type and severity of the mistake. But in the rarest cases, when a Guam quarter features a dramatic mint error and has been preserved in pristine, certified condition, its value can reach an astonishing $76,000. That's right, a single 2009 Guam quarter, seemingly ordinary in your pocket change, can be worth more than many people earn in a year. So, next time you find a quarter, don't just glance at it. Examine it closely. Look for missing details, doubled letters, or off-center strikes. Sometimes, the tiniest error can hide incredible value. Top 5. We're diving into the story of one of the most fascinating modern quarters in American coinage, the 2003 Illinois State Quarter. At first glance, it might look like just another 25-cent piece, but hidden within certain coins are details that can make collectors' hearts race and wallets excited. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why one extraordinary example of this coin has been valued at $74,000. In 2003, the United States Mint was in the middle of its legendary 50-state quarters program, celebrating the unique history, culture, and identity of each state. Illinois, known as the Prairie State, earned its place with a coin design that honors its remarkable contribution to American industry, transportation, and heritage. That on the reverse side of the Illinois quarter, you'll find Abraham Lincoln, the state's most iconic historical figure, standing proudly in front of the Illinois State Capitol building in Springfield. Flanking him are images of a young railcar and an early steamboat, representing Illinois' rich transportation history. The word Prairie State is proudly displayed, reflecting the nickname of Illinois and its vast landscapes. This design doesn't just look impressive. It tells a story of innovation, leadership, and the vital role Illinois has played in American history. The obverse of the coin features the familiar portrait of George Washington, updated slightly from earlier quarters to match the design style of the State Quarters series. While this may seem standard, the real excitement lies in what makes certain Illinois quarters stand out from the millions that were minted. Let's talk about numbers. The Illinois quarter was produced in massive quantities. The Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of coins, and the Denver Mint produced even more. Proof versions were also issued from the San Francisco Mint for collectors. Because of these large numbers, most Illinois quarters you find in circulation today are worth only their face value. But here's where collectors really pay attention: condition and rare errors. Modern coin collecting isn't just about owning a coin. It's about owning a coin in exceptional condition. Most coins are handled, circulated, or exposed to scratches and marks that reduce their value. Coins that survive in flawless mint state condition, especially those graded MS-67 or MS-68 and higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, are much rarer than people realize. These coins are highly sought after because they represent the very best of what was produced. And then there are the mint errors, the magical details that can turn an ordinary quarter into a treasure. Some Illinois quarters show off-center strikes, where the design is noticeably shifted from the center. Others feature double die characteristics, where parts of the letters or numbers appear doubled due to misalignment during die preparation. There are also clipped planchets, die cracks, and even wrong planchet errors, which are all incredibly rare and highly collectible. Collectors especially prize coins that combine both rarity and perfect condition. A high-grade Illinois quarter with a dramatic mint error is extremely scarce and can generate intense competition among collectors. Error coins tell the story of a tiny mechanical glitch inside the mint, a brief moment when perfection slipped, creating something one-of-a-kind. That story, combined with the state's historical significance, makes the Illinois quarter an absolute must-have for serious collectors. Most Illinois quarters in circulation are worth 25 cents. Uncirculated coins might fetch a few dollars. Proofs and error coins can climb into hundreds or even low thousands depending on the type and severity of the flaw. But in the rarest and most extraordinary circumstances, when a coin features a major mint error and has been preserved in nearly flawless certified condition, the Illinois 2003 quarter can reach an astonishing $74,000. Yes, that's right. A single Illinois quarter, seemingly ordinary and perhaps overlooked, could be worth more than many people's yearly income. So next time you handle a quarter, don't just glance at it. Examine the date, the lettering, the edges, and the details in the design. Tiny imperfections can hide enormous value, and sometimes that small coin in your pocket could be a treasure. If you enjoyed this journey into the rare and remarkable Illinois State Quarter, make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any more fascinating coin discoveries. Keep searching, keep collecting, and remember, history, beauty, and value might be hiding in the coins you least expect.